Audiobook for English story listening. The Four Clever Brothers. Once upon a time, there lived a poor man who had 4 sons. As the father realized he had nothing to give them, he gathered his sons and spoke to them with a heavy heart. "Dear children," he said, "I have no possessions to offer you. It is time for you to go out into the wide world and seek your own fortunes. Find a craft or trade to learn and see how you can make your way in life." Accepting their father's words, the 4 brothers took their walking sticks and their small bundles, bidding their father farewell. With hopeful hearts, they ventured out of their home, passing through the gate together. As they traveled on, they reached a point where 4 different roads intersected, each leading to a different country. Realizing it was time to part ways, the eldest brother spoke, his voice filled with determination. "Here, at this crossroad, we must bid farewell to one another. However, let us promise to meet again at this very spot 4 years from today. Until then, we shall each embark on our own individual journeys and strive to find our own paths." And so the 4 brothers set off on their separate ways, each seeking to learn a craft or trade that would shape their futures. The eldest brother, hastening along, soon encountered a man who approached him with curiosity. "Where are you headed, young man, and what do you wish to accomplish?" the stranger inquired. "I am going into the world to try my luck and learn a skill," replied the eldest brother. "I seek an art or trade that will make a difference." With a mysterious gleam in his eye, the man smiled and said, "If you possess the courage, I can teach you to become the most cunning thief the world has ever seen." But the young man hesitated, saying, "No, that doesn't seem right. Being a thief is not an honest job, and it might lead to bad consequences like the gallows." The man reassured him, saying, "Oh, don't worry about that. I only teach how to steal things that are fair game. I don't take things that belong to others or are important. I focus on things that no one else wants or even cares about. Nobody will even notice they're missing, and you won't get caught." Fascinated by the man's words, the young man considered the possibilities before making his decision. "I shall accept your offer," he declared. "Teach me the ways of the cunning thief, and I will prove my worth." Under the guidance of his enigmatic mentor, the eldest brother immersed himself in the art of stealth. He acquired skills to pick locks, disarm traps, and move like a shadow in the night. Day by day, he honed his abilities until he became a master of thievery, capable of acquiring any desired item. The second brother also met a man who asked him what he wanted to learn. The brother replied, "I don't know yet." The man then made a suggestion, saying, "Come with me and become a stargazer. It's a special skill where you can understand everything that happens in the sky by looking at the stars." The brother liked the idea and agreed to learn this noble art. He became very good at studying the stars and understanding their secrets. When his training was complete and he wanted to leave his teacher, the man gave him a special glass. He said, "With this glass, you will be able to see everything that happens in the sky and on the earth. Nothing will be hidden from you." The third brother met a huntsman who took him under his wing and taught him all about hunting. The huntsman was so good at his craft and he passed on his knowledge to the brother. The brother became very skilled in the ways of the woods. When he finished his training with the huntsman, he received a special gift. The huntsman gave him a bow and said, "Whatever you aim at with this bow, you will always hit it." As for the youngest brother, he met a man who asked him what he wanted to do. The man suggested that he become a tailor. The young brother didn't like the idea at first. He said, "No, I don't want to sit all day with a needle and thread sewing back and forth. It doesn't sound like something I would enjoy." But the man reassured him, saying, "Oh, that's not the kind of tailoring I'm talking about. Come with me, and you'll learn a different kind of craft." Not knowing what else to do, the youngest brother decided to give it a try. He started learning tailoring from the very beginning. When he completed his training, his master gave him a special needle. The man said, "With this needle, you can sew anything, whether it's as soft as an egg or as hard as steel, and the stitches will be so perfect that you won't even see the seam." After 4 years had passed, just as they had agreed, the 4 brothers met again at the 4 crossroads. They were happy to see each other and started their journey back to their father's home. When they arrived, they told their father all about their adventures and how they had learned different skills. One day, while they were sitting in front of their house under a tall tree, their father had an idea. He wanted to see what each of his sons could do with their newfound abilities. So he looked up and pointed to the top of the tree. He said to his second son, "There is a nest of chaffinch birds up there. Can you tell me how many eggs are in it?" The second brother, who was good at looking at the stars, took out his special glass and looked up. After a moment, he said, "There are 5 eggs in the nest, father." The father then turned to his eldest son and gave him a challenge. He said, "Take the eggs from the nest without letting the bird sitting on them know. Be sneaky." The clever thief climbed up the tree and carefully took the 5 eggs from under the bird. The bird didn't even notice and continued sitting on the empty nest. The father collected the eggs and placed one on each corner of the table and one in the middle. He then turned to his son, who was skilled with a bow. He said, "Shoot an arrow and cut all the eggs into 2 pieces with 1 shot." The huntsman, aiming carefully, drew his bow and released the arrow. Amazingly, the arrow hit all 5 eggs exactly as the father had asked, splitting them into 2 pieces. The father and his sons were amazed at each other's abilities and proud of what they had achieved. They continued to enjoy their time together, cherishing the bond they shared as a family. "Now it's your turn," said the father to the young tailor. "Sew the broken eggs and the baby birds back together so skillfully that they look unharmed." The tailor took his needle and carefully sewed the eggs as he was instructed. When he finished, the clever thief was sent to secretly place the repaired eggs back in the nest without the bird noticing. The bird continued sitting on the nest, and after a few days, the eggs hatched. The baby birds came out with only a small red mark where the tailor had sewn them together. The old man praised his sons, saying, "Well done, my sons. You have used your time wisely and learned valuable skills. I'm proud of you all, but I can't decide who should receive the prize. I hope that one day you can use your skills to achieve something great." Not long after this, something very important happened in the country. The king's daughter was taken away by a big, scary dragon. The king was very sad and missed his daughter all the time. He told everyone that whoever could bring her back would become her husband. The 4 brothers heard about this and said to each other, "This is our chance to help the princess. Let's see what we can do." They agreed to try and rescue the princess. The stargazer said, "Don't worry, I can find out where she is." He looked through his special glass and saw her sitting on a rock in the sea. The dragon was right there, guarding her. The stargazer went to the king and asked for a ship for himself and his brothers. They sailed across the sea until they reached the right place. They found the princess just as the stargazer had said, sitting on the rock. The dragon was asleep with its head on her lap. The huntsman didn't want to hurt the princess, so he said, "I can't shoot the dragon, or it will hurt the beautiful young lady." The clever thief then said, "I will use my skills to steal the princess away from the dragon without waking it up." He took her away quietly while the dragon kept snoring, not knowing what was happening. They quickly brought the princess to their boat and started sailing towards their ship, filled with happiness. But then the dragon woke up and started roaring behind them, flying through the air. It was angry because it realized the princess was gone. The dragon tried to attack them and take the princess back, but the huntsman took his bow and shot the dragon right in the heart. The dragon fell down dead, but its huge body caused the boat to tip over, and they had to swim in the sea using some wooden planks. The clever tailor then used his needle to sew the planks together, making a makeshift boat. They quickly gathered all the pieces of the broken boat and patched them up. Soon they had a boat ready, and they safely reached their ship and returned home. When they brought the princess back to her father, everyone was very happy. The king said to the 4 brothers, "One of you can marry the princess, but you must decide among yourselves who it will be." This caused an argument between them. Each brother thought they deserved the princess because of their skills. The stargazer said he found her, the thief said he saved her, the huntsman said he killed the dragon, and the tailor said he fixed the boat. The king stepped in and said, "You all did important things, but the princess has someone she loves already. Instead, I will give each of you half a kingdom as a reward for your skills." The brothers agreed that this was a fair solution. They lived happily with their rewards, taking care of their father. And someone else took good care of the princess, making sure she was safe and happy, so the dragon or any of the brothers couldn't have her.